person to speak this evening, and whilst Peter and Angie are giving prizes to all the committee, I just want to say a few words. First of all, Bacchus this year has been, I think, absolutely fantastic. I've loved every minute. And before I start, I just want to get an idea of how many of the different people we have in here this evening. So, to get us started, can we have a bit of a, I don't know, way hey for each year? So, third years. First years. Fourth years in postgrad. Staff and alumni. Yeah, I just think this is actually total proof of the depth of community that we have within our department, and that really is what Bacchus is all about. Bacchus this year has seen 22 events with over 300 students attending events across the year. And that's been from panellist debates to tapas nights, from wine, cheese and cocktail tastings to cooking and hearing from the likes of Ken Hom and Madhu Jaffrey. Bacchus really has, you could say, has seen it all. I mean, yesterday we even had a bit of a hospitality rounders match for anybody who was there. The boys absolutely spanked the girls. But yeah, the success of this year has not only been down to the Bacchus committee, which I know have been thanked this evening, it's also been down to every single person in this room for getting involved. Because really, Bacchus would be nothing if it wasn't for everybody in here for getting involved in the community of the department. Because we have something extremely special in our department compared to the rest of the university. Now, I'm not going to talk about everybody in detail in this, who's been on the committee this year, but there's one or two I want to tell a couple of stories about. The first one is Augustus Lonsdale. He's taken the role of Bacchus secretary this year, or how he fondly refers to himself as the Bacchus bitch. I had the pleasure of spending 9 months on my placement year with Gus in a 2 metre by 2 metre cabin, which was fucking awful. But no, anybody who's had the pleasure of sleeping with Gus or sleeping alongside Gus, I certainly feel, I empathise with you, let's just put it that. Gus managed to spend $1,500 at a crew bar where every drink was $1 in 4 months. 1,500 drinks in 4 months. Unbelievable. So yeah, but besides that, Gus really has, on a serious note, been the nuts and bolts of Bacchus this year. He's been involved non-stop throughout, and besides that, he's edited a superb newsletter which has produced 6 professional editions, one of which is on your table this evening. Gus, thanks really does not seem enough, but cheers for everything you've done. Really appreciate it. The next person, there's only 3 of them, I promise. The next person I want to mention in detail is Ellie McHarg. Ellie would be the first to admit that she's addicted to social media, first off. She's addicted to sunbeds, there we go. And saying that she likes the odd tipple of gin and tonic would be a massive understatement. But for all the crap that she gave me for wearing a purple bow tie this evening, if you look closely at Ellie, she's actually painted her nails Bacchus purple. So cheers, Ellie. She also brought about one of my favourite committee meeting moments this year, which was when Paddy Henderson, who's our head chef of this year, who's produced some superb dishes, he suggested the idea that at the Christmas quiz we have rabbit stew. And Ellie said, no, rabbit, you don't eat rabbit, Paddy, you don't eat rabbit, that's just inappropriate. And then she said, no, you only wear rabbit, Paddy. You only wear Besides all these antics, she really is somebody that you want on your team. She is an absolute doer, and besides organising this evening's ball with the assistance of Becky Reid and a superb team of Bacchus Ball girls, I really think that she's organised tonight with real elegance and precision. I wish you the absolute best of luck in the future. You're doing amazing. The last student that I want to talk about very briefly is Mr. Owen Farr. There is some people in our year who would say that at the beginning of this year they didn't know Owen that well, but they didn't. By the end of this year, they've really known the true Owen, the wine snob Farr, that we all know and love today. And I think that part of the reason for this really is Bacchus. It isn't uncommon to see Mr. Farr arrive at a pre-drinks when every single other person at the pre-drinks has bought a 3 or 4 quid wine from the deli on Cali Road, which is, I can assure you, tastes like piss. And Owen's turned up with a bottle of vintage Chateau Neuf de Pape. And then within half an hour, he's been persuaded to drink it out of a plastic cup and contribute half the bottle to a game of beer pong. But besides these silly antics, Owen really is a very talented individual. Whilst he's been smashing out A grades for fun with his uni work this year, he's also put his heart and soul into the Bacchus Student Society, and of course the school in general. Owen as treasurer treats the Bacchus finances like it's his own full-time business venture, and it really is the only reason that we've stayed financially above water this year. So Owen, I can't thank you enough. Cheers for everything you've done this year. The last person before I mention the committee it's not a student, and this isn't me trying to suck up to the head teacher or anything like that. I want to express my thanks to Donald Sloan. Don is about as good an example of leadership as you'll see firsthand, and it is often difficult to believe how hectic Don's diary is at times, but he still managed to give seamlessly all his time to every single person in this room. And he and his colleagues have brought the Oxford School of Hospitality Management to the forefront of the industry worldwide. And it really is absolutely remarkable the opportunities that all of us in this room have and they've given us throughout our university lives that we probably wouldn't have believed we'd had access to going into our times at university. So I think that we're extremely lucky in our department, school, sorry Don, to have such a passionate leader and a team of staff that put up with all our crap so well throughout the year. So yeah, I want to thank the staff and Don. Huge. If you could be upstanding for the staff and Don this evening, that would be brilliant.